Relationship advice. Update 2. How do I, 24 male, convince my sister, 31 female, that I don't want to sleep with her fiancé, 30 male? Original story. I know the title sounds strange. I'll try to be concise with all of the context. I, 24 male, have a sister, 31 female, and due to the age gap, we were never close. We grew up in the US, but after college, my sister moved to Europe. I haven't seen her much since she was 18, and I was about 11, but because we weren't very close, we were fine with the occasional texting and every other year Christmas visits. Two very important pieces of context for the story. The first is that, even with the age gap, we look extremely alike. And a few times she's been home since I was older, 16 and 23, people have commented that we could be twins. The second is that I am 100% straight. I've only ever dated girls and have never been interested or experimented with men in any way. I've been with the same girl since I was 21. Okay, so on to the main story. About a year ago, my sister met her fiancé, who I'll call Rob. I met Rob for the first time this Christmas. We quickly bonded over a shared hobby, RuneScape, lol, which added a ton while he was here, and because it was Christmas, we were usually drinking. He seemed a little touchy, touching my arm / my back, laughing a lot, a few oddly timed hugs. I thought nothing of it. Maybe that's just how Europeans are. I've never been. Anyway, they went back to Europe just after New Year's, and Rob and I have been casually chatting on WhatsApp, mostly about video games. Then one day, he stopped responding to my messages. A few days later, I asked my sister if he was okay. She said yes, but she needed to talk to me. We agreed to FaceTime the following night. To keep it short, here's what my sister told me. Rob found me extremely attractive. Apparently, because he's attracted to my sister, he also found me attractive. We look a lot alike. And he's now questioning his sexuality. Like I was some sort of gay stepping stone? My sister said they were going to work things out, but she asked that I stay away from Rob. I figured I rarely see them and this was all bizarre, so I agreed. She also asked me to promise I'd never sleep with Rob, which is insane, because not only am I straight, but the implication is that I'd sleep with my sister's fiancé unless I was told not to. I told her she was being ridiculous, and I'd never do that. We got into an argument because I wouldn't specifically agree not to F him. I asked why he wasn't being held accountable. It should be his job to leave me alone. He's the one who wants to sleep with me. I'm not attracted to him at all. I was told I wouldn't be invited to her wedding. She hung up on me after I told her Rob would probably cheat on her with someone in Europe if she wasn't even sure he wouldn't sleep with her own brother. It's been about a week since this happened and I don't know what to do. We haven't talked since. Neither me nor my sister has told my parents, but it will definitely hit a boiling point when wedding invitations go out. What the hell do I do? Should I apologize and promise I won't sleep with Rob to smooth things over? Also, just to be clear, I find nothing wrong with being gay / bi or anything else. None of this post is coming from a place of me being upset for being accused of not being straight or something like that. Edit. I'll be speaking to my parents about it tonight. Mostly because I'm worried my sister may try to frame this situation differently. I'll be showing them this post, as well as the message Rob sent me since I posted here. We'll update in a few days. Now let's read the top advice before the first update. You promise her not to sleep with her boyfriend, as long as she promises not to sleep with your girlfriend. I love this one. It simplifies how to make her see how crazy she is versus the top comment, which I think is too complicated to work. Okay, I'll promise, but first you promise me you'll never sleep with my girlfriend. What? Why would I ever do that? You should keep your distances from both of them. This is an insane situation, and your sister is heading towards big problems. This is heading to a blow-up between the two of them, or a miserable life if she does marry him. Agreed. But if I were OP, first, I would email her saying that I'm hurt by her behavior, blindsided by her significant other's admission, and not interested in being involved in any of it. Include a bullet list and why her demands are absolutely nuts, which are plentiful. Then go no contact until she figures her stuff out. Then you at least have something to cover your butt with your family, in case it gets worse and she tries to throw you under the bus, because there's an almost defined chance her situation will worsen significantly. In these types of situations, a way to ease things is just ask, in your mind, what do you see happening? She'll say she envisions him cheating on her with you. You respond, why would I do that? Why would I sleep with a man, any man, when I'm not attracted to men at all? Make her follow her own absurd thought process and pull the thread until she unravels the whole thing and see it doesn't make sense. It takes two to tango. What does make sense is her insecurity about her fiancé's newfound sexuality. It probably sucks to be in her situation and she doesn't know what to do, but certainly not your responsibility to deal with that side of things. Best of luck to you both. And now for the first update. The post got a lot more attention than I was expecting, so here's what has happened in the last 2 days. I grew increasingly angry at my sister over what felt like accusations on her end during our conversation. I saw some comments about getting ahead of this and talking to my parents ASAP so that my sister couldn't get to them first and spin the story. Originally, I wasn't worried about this, but her behavior during our conversation was so erratic that I couldn't put it past her. I live only 20 minutes from my parents, so went to their house for dinner that night to have the talk. I asked them to refrain from commenting/asking questions until I said everything. I covered the basics. Rob and I had chatted. He stopped responding, so I talked to my sister. She blew up. I told them all the details. Rob was into me. Sister said they were going to work things out. I was asked not to sleep with him, and I got angry. I was very clear to my parents about why I was upset. That I was uninvited from the wedding. I know I'm not perfect, so I also told them what I said to my sister before she hung up, which I do regret. When I finished what I had to say, my dad started laughing, which he is known to do when he is uncomfortable. My mom was absolutely horrified. They both admitted that they had noticed he was touchy-feely with me over Christmas. We talked for a while about the questions they had. Had Rob said anything to me before the phone call? No. Had I known Rob was gay/bi/questioning? No. We had a whole discussion about why I wouldn't make the promise to her, and to my surprise, they were completely on my side. Now, here is where the crap hit the fan. As I mentioned in my last post, Rob had messaged me. He had said he was so sorry for causing all of this, for ruining my relationship with my sister, etc. He said that he was confused, but he does love my sister and wants to move past this. I responded much later that night, right before going to my parents, by saying that things may not recover from this, and he should have either broken up with my sister to figure himself out or kept this to himself. My parents were beyond upset to hear about this, and that I wouldn't be going to the wedding. Even though I asked them not to, they called my sister immediately after I left their house. They wanted to know if she was okay, why she was so accusatory with me, and what was happening in regards to the wedding. Well, folks, it was a crap show. According to my dad, she started freaking out, yelling, sobbing, and accusing them of taking my side. My dad tried to explain that there are no sides here. They just wanted to remedy the situation. Their call lasted less than 5 minutes, with my sister going on a tirade about how this is her life and she won't let us ruin it. She claimed she saw my response to Rob, and that we were all trying to break them up. She then uninvited my parents, who were paying for the whole thing, from the wedding, and blocked them on everything. We are all worried that she's having a legitimate mental breakdown. We have no way to contact her, and we have no family anywhere in Europe to help out. We have no idea how to help her. At this point, we are quite sure the wedding won't happen, as my parents certainly won't pay for it after all of this. We are worried she may hurt herself, but we know Rob is a good-natured guy and will hopefully take care of her. I'm at a total loss. My sister and I were never close, but I never imagined her relationship with everyone in our family would completely implode within 72 hours. Honestly, looking for advice on where to go from here. Rob hasn't blocked me on WhatsApp, but I am unsure if reaching out to him is a good idea. Now for some top comments before reading the final update. Why am I starting to get a sense that Rob's sexuality is come into question by your sister even before your situation arose? It seems like the situation you guys had was the final straw that broke the camel's back, and it sent your sister into some manic episode. Edit. And it's now just making more sense to me that he was flirtatious while drunk. I'm sure that they've gone out before and he's done the whole flirty/touchy/feely deal in front of her before. This is why I think she is so upset. I bet she knew before Rob did and thought ignoring it would make it go away. Or if he never realized it, then maybe she was wrong and he just has that vibe, but now she can't hide from it. And to compound her anxiety, it was her sibling that opened the floodgates. It isn't Toby's fault in any way. I think she is just lashing out. Had it been a celebrity or complete stranger, she could be mad at either. It makes me think of that King of Queens episode where they can pick one fatty Soleil and the wife picks some celebrity and the husband picks the clerk they see every week at the store. I wouldn't contact Rob if I were you. I'd get your parents in contact with him though. You should remove yourself from the situation and just pass it off to your parents. Yes, I've deleted Rob from WhatsApp and I'm completely stepping back from the situation. I will wait for my sister to, hopefully, come around. I don't even care about an apology from her. I just hope she's okay. You're so hot, you ruined an entire family. Stop being so hot, bro. Achievement unlocked. Familial home wrecker. Now for the final update. Well, it's been a year since my post, so I figured it was time to give a quick update since this account still gets messages asking about it. This will be the final update. As a very quick recap, my sister's fiancé Rob had a crush on me. My sister, for some reason, blamed me for that and had a breakdown. When we last left off, my sister blew up at me and my parents, and no one had a way to contact her because we all live in the US and they were in Europe. About a week after that, my sister called my parents and begged them to pay for the wedding. She said that they would be welcome to come, but that I was still not invited. My parents did not accept this, as they felt the situation wasn't properly resolved. Cue another total sobbing breakdown for my sister. We were all worried about her mental health, and so I went against my better judgment and called Rob to talk to him. He had basically told me that my sister was going back and forth between trying to kick Rob out, he owns the house they live in, by the way, and trying to convince him to get married. At one point, she claimed to be pregnant and threatened Rob with a termination. As far as he was concerned, their relationship was over, and he was trying to convince my sister to return to the US. This caused an additional breakdown with my sister because she was convinced she had ruined her relationship with her family and would never take her back. Eventually, she moved out of Rob's house and in with a friend of hers. This is where we stopped hearing from Rob altogether. She lived with her friend briefly but didn't have a job. She was mainly supported by Rob, and her savings didn't last long. She finally called my mom in early March, intensely apologetic, and asked if she could come home. My parents paid for a plane ticket home, and she basically arrived like 2 days before the world shut down. She's been speaking to a therapist via Zoom for about 9 months now, but she's still very depressed. I don't talk to her very much, and I'm not sure if I will ever forgive her for her initial reaction to the situation. We are cordial when we get together as a family. We have a small bubble, but I won't ever look at her the same way ever again. Regardless of her mental health, she decided to go nuclear on me for something that her fiancé did wrong. Now for some comments. Oh, I remember this. Thanks for updating. Sorry it didn't have a better ending. Thank you for the update. I'm sorry that this story didn't have a happy ending for you, besides your sister ending up in a relatively more stable situation and getting therapy, I guess. Your sister definitely could have handled this better, and it sounds like after her initial reaction, things just spiraled more out of control for her. Living with your parents is probably as supportive of a living situation as one can hope for. I hope she manages to get on her feet again one of these days, but that's entirely up to her. The same goes for her having a sibling relationship with you again. If I were you, I would feel similarly. She was jealous, and in response, she basically flipped the table on the entire family. It's not the end. Perhaps in the years to come they will reconcile. Your sister is an example of a pick-me-sha, basically a woman with incredibly low self-esteem that derives all her worth from her romantic relationship. She didn't view that as the end of her engagement. It was an intense attack on her self-worth. You see it a lot, women blaming the other woman rather than their boys, but in this case, it was you. Either way, it's whoever is tempting their man rather than their man, because if they say to themselves that their man isn't a prime catch, it again reflects badly on their self-worth. Women like this choose men for superficial reasons, and then never leave them no matter what the man does. They also do things like get pregnant just so a man won't leave or fake it like your sister did. I hope your sister gets some serious psychological help before her next relationship, and finds something to add meaning to her life besides a man. Thank you for the update. Take the time you need for healing yourself and let the therapist handle your sister. I'm sorry this entire situation even happened. Now for the last story. My male 32, girlfriend's 27, parents have never accepted me and think I'm too old. And her sister, 29, physically attacked me one Christmas. Time to leave? I've been with my girlfriend for 4.5 years now, and we have lived together for about 1.5. Now, we've obviously had the usual ups and downs of long-term relationships, but have always been faithful. No gaslighting or physical abuse or anything horrible. I'm quite an introverted person, slightly nerdy but enjoy working out, and work full-time as a scientist for the health service. I did do things a little later in life, so didn't go to uni till 23 and now I'm 32. I met my girlfriend when she was around 23 and I was 27 turning 28, so about a 4.5-year age gap. Fast forward, a few months into dating and we were out in town, and her parents text her to say they were about and would like to see her. "Would you like to come meet my parents?" she says. Despite my introverted nature, I thought sure, I like this girl a lot, why not make an effort? So we go into this bar and met her seemingly upper middle class parents who wait for my girlfriend to go to the bathroom before laying into me with, "How much do you earn? How long till you are at the top of your field? I notice you have ear piercings. Do you have tattoos? Do you have your own house? What car do you drive? How long have you been courting our daughter? What are your intentions?" Girlfriend comes back from the bathroom, seeing me awkwardly smiling, and then her mom asks me how old I am, to which I reply 27. She then ignores me and looks at her daughter, 23 at this time, and says, "Oh my god, he's so old," girlfriend's name. "Why are you with someone so old?" And repeated this 3 or 4 times. All said like I was literally invisible without looking at me. Anyway, I promptly left and it took me a good few days to get over that one. Fast forward maybe 4 to 6 months and we are off to my girlfriend's parents' house to stay over. Yay! Her mom seemed pleasant enough at first, but then at dinner, made some huge conversation piece about a guy my girlfriend used to be in love with and went skiing trips with, etc. Asking her where he was and why doesn't she see him anymore. Normally, I'd brush it off, but I was beginning to see a pattern of her just trying to make me feel horrible. The next day, she gave us a lift into town and asked my age again. This time, I had a birthday and was now 28, so she did the same thing. "Oh," girlfriend's name. "He's so old. Why are you with someone so old?" Next encounter. We went up to Manchester to visit her sister, and her parents were there. Luckily, we didn't have to spend too much time with them, but her dad decided it would be funny to call me James because I look like a James. Despite being corrected by everyone else, he was like, "Nah, I'm going to keep calling you James." I know it's not much, but he was absolutely trying to belittle me. We also went out for dinner. Me, my girlfriend, and her sister on one table having drinks, and her parents on the next who very loudly and openly had a conversation that we weren't involved in about how I was going bald and if I'd have no hair soon. Next encounter was Christmas about 2 years back, before we lived together. So I was over at my girlfriend's flat with her friend, and my girlfriend had invited her sister over for Christmas. Everything was fine. I had to work a couple shifts like Boxing Day, but it was relaxing and I chipped in where I could. Tidying up, made them breakfast. So, in the evening of Boxing Day after I just got back from work, and I'm sat on the couch watching Shrek as you do, and my girlfriend's sister comes in, "Hey, do you want some dessert?" I reply, "Ooh, yes please. That would be fab if it's not any trouble." She then crouches down and gets right in my face and says, "Well, why did you make some yourself, you bone-idle twat?" Needless to say, I was pretty taken aback and thought, bugger this, so escaped to a spare room to call my mom and wish her a Merry Christmas, etc. I can then hear her sister stomping around the house. "Where's that freaking twat gone?" That's right, run away like a little boy. Then she comes in the spare room and gets in my face saying, "I've got a big freaking problem with you," and started screaming at me. All the while my girlfriend does absolutely nothing to stick up for me. So I decided to calmly get up and leave. Her sister chases me out of the house begging me to come back, and I say, "No, I think it's best I leave. You have somewhat soured this evening and ruined Christmas." Then she chased me down the road, grabbed on me and punched me in the face twice, and told me my girlfriend hates me and thinks I'm a C-word. To which I lost it and told her if she didn't buzz off, I was ringing the police. She replied with, "Go for it. Who will they believe, a grown man or a little blonde woman? I know, right?" So I basically had to run away in the end. Turns out, she then went back to the flat and sliced her wrists, and my girlfriend had to take her to A&E, and I have absolutely no doubt it was for sympathy as she'd acted like a complete nut. It's been years and she still never apologized. After that, I decided to essentially not bother with her family anymore. Except 2 nights ago I heard my girlfriend having a Zoom call with her mom and sister. I was in the lounge with headphones on but could hear. And they got on the topic of the COVID vaccine, and my girlfriend pointed out I'd be getting mine quite soon as I work in the healthcare handling all the positive samples, etc. To which her mom replied with, "Yeah, I can imagine him being high on the list to get it because he's so old." My girlfriend said nothing. This was the final straw for me, because now I know she's not only doing it to my face, but is having digs and belittling me behind my back too. And my girlfriend just sits back and says absolutely nothing. So I'm stuck with this one. I feel like if her family can't accept me or even be remotely civil, and she won't stick up for me against her mom or physical violence from her sister, then it's time to call this relationship off. My girlfriend wants to buy a house and live together in it. But all I have in my head is that her parents and sister will want to stay and will basically be able to turn up whenever they want. Also, because of all this, I get quite down about our relationship and it isn't physically intimate anymore. Maybe once every 2 months? I know why her mom has this problem. All her cousins on the mom's side are high academic achievers like doctors, etc. and have their own houses at 30. And because my girlfriend went to a grammar school and comes from a posh county, her mom probably thinks she should be with some magical 27-year-old home-owning doctor. I'm tempted to send a really sarcastic thank you card in return to the quite rude card they sent me for my birthday this month, and then breaking up with my girlfriend. Maybe I'm too sensitive. The idea of another 20 to 30 years of having them in my life, to the point they could show up whenever, makes me depressed as hell. What do you all think I should do? Now for the top advice. I have never ever been so glad to see a post end with, and then breaking up with my girlfriend. If she truly cared about you, she would have done something already. She's never going to stand up for you. She's the reason this is allowed to continue. This. Also, I would bring up every single thing they've done to you that your girlfriend done nothing about. Tell her you can't be with her because she doesn't have a spine, without using those words, or do if you're feeling spiteful. Don't buy a house with someone who doesn't cherish you the way you do them. Random internet guy here. If your girlfriend is cool with the way they treat you, no amount of time is going to change that. Life is too short to be ridiculed and attacked for just being yourself. Talk to your girlfriend about why she's okay with that they do and have done, then live the life that makes you happy with or without her. Good luck, homie. At the end of my 3.5-year relationship with a man-child who never defended me from his mother, the only thing I had left in me was the blissful realization that I would never have to see that witch again. Your girlfriend doesn't defend you. Therefore, she believes what they say. Frankly, you need to leave her and inform her that her offensive family and her constant allowing the abuse is why she's going to be single and renting. This isn't an ultimatum situation. This is a dump her and move on situation. She needs to grow up and deal with her family before she will be ready to have her own family. OP, it sounds like you're on the fence because your girlfriend is pretty cool, but her family sucks. Unfortunately, your girlfriend sucks too. She's not defending you. She's not choosing to remove those crapheads from your lives. And she's not going to. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That applies to your girlfriend too. Don't commit yourself to this misery. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.